Oh, say, can you see the light? What's the problem? Shouldn't have turned down those cue cards.
Welcome back to United States of Australia. I am the Aussie Guy. And yeah, we've got a jam-packed show this week. I've prepped a lot of clips and I want to get into it. So first of all, please welcome your friend and mine, just Josh. How you doing?
Doing good, Ozzy. If I was doing any better, I'd be a squirrel, but not Peanut the squirrel, because that son of a bitch had his license revoked this week.
Yes, poor little bastard. Got taken out.
Fucking squirrel.
Yeah, I can't believe that a squirrel is such a big talking point, but it's huge. Like that woman is getting the woman that reported the squirrel is getting doxxed, and yeah,
hellfire's coming down upon her as it should.
Yeah, insane stuff. Joining us is a special treat this week. Joining us is a friend of mine from a show that I promote quite often on this show, Get My Go. He is the man behind it, the original creator, the producer of it all, and he's my friend, Mike Durband. Thanks for joining us, Mike.
Thank you for having me. I've always wanted to be on the show, and you've never asked me until now, so thank you.
Yeah, it struck me the other day. It struck me the other day that I don't think, like, other than way back in the Malatown days, I had you and Joe on. I hadn't actually ever got around to getting you on this show. And,
yeah, I think me and Joe did like a sports talk thing, right, with you?
Yeah, we talked about
Chicago sports and Philly.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a long time ago now, so I couldn't believe that I'd left it this long. But I'm starting a new thing where I want to introduce my favorite lolcow to some of the newer listeners to this show. My favorite lolcow, Jonny podcasting, and you're here to help me with that journey, and I'm going to have other members of Get My Go on as well to introduce. But I guess before all of that, there is a man sitting and waiting. He's a man. He's a man that thinks 9 guns pointed at him is porn. Robbie the Mariner fan. How you doing?
What's going on?
Did I surprise you? Because you said you knew what was
not
coming.
In the slightest.
No?
No.
I'm not ready to support you, Robbie.
I thought you were going to say like black dicks or something, but close enough.
Jesus.
Well, I tried not to make it overtly sexual. This is more about, like, this was more of a joke about your mental health and how.
Well, there's that too.
Yeah, and how you'd be happy for someone to end it all. But look,
you got me bottom right, Ozzy. I've got a lot of weight on my shoulders today.
Oh, good point. Yeah, everyone always says that I really should be putting Robbie bottom right.
There we go.
And yeah, if you become a fan of Get My Go and go back through the back catalog, you'll find out the origins of bottom right. And the significance of it. But it's our buddy and moderator Daylar is here. That fucking orange big time me and stole $5 to suck off a questionably blind guy. I think that translates into Obnoxious John is sending his audience to Blind Mike today and not to us. So that's an upsetting thing. Mistress Meg here. Onion hat. Very handsome, sir. Thank you. Yeah, Patrick was complaining to me in DMs this week. Just so you never wear the hat that I gave you. So I promised him I would, because he just got married. Congratulations on getting married, Patrick. And one thing that's not been really talked about. Patrick told the story about getting drunk on a Zoom call, and kind of makes me think that Patrick's bachelor party was on a Zoom call. Like, what a fucking loser if that's the case. So yeah, I can't believe no one's run with that
angle. I
didn't know you
could do that.
It doesn't sound like a good time.
No. Well, apparently Patrick polished off a decent sized bottle of whiskey that was very expensive. Apparently, it was a gift from all of his internet friends. But anyway, congratulations, Patrick, on getting married, and yeah, thanks for the hats. And here's one of them.
Mazel tov.
Now, Mike, you how familiar are you with some of our regular topics like steel toe? There goes Josh's camera.
Sorry, boys.
I don't get it. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in our group chat, the Get My Go group chat, you guys, every day there's new videos you guys share with each other and discussions. I don't understand the fascination with these people.
Yeah, see, he's just one of those ones, and it's to be honest with you, I do get a lot of similarities to puffed up Jonny podcasting from Aaron M. Holt. There's a lot of similarities there. So yeah, I don't know. It is something similar to Jonny podcasting for me that I saw with Aaron.
Yeah.
And after a while, I was just like, you know what? I need to start covering this because I got thoughts I want to get off my chest. So fuck my co-hosts. We're going in the direction I want to go. But no, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Josh, have you been catching up on Steel Toe this week?
I've not seen too much steel toe this week. Cannot say I have.
Good. And Robbie, I'm sure you're not up to date at all.
No, well, see, I associate with Mike Durband on this. I don't understand like the whole Dabbleverse and
Yeah.
Aaron and all that.
Yeah.
But I do like when you present clips of Aaron just because it's like a train wreck in motion. So no, it doesn't come up on my feed too much. I don't look at it during the week, which I probably should since you are so interested in it, Aussie. But I do like watching the clips I see from you because it is like a train wreck each week that goes a little bit farther down the tracks. So it's hard
Yeah.
to like if I get presented with a clip, it's hard to look away, but I'm not actively seeking out steel toe stuff.
No, and that's fair. And look, I'm not either. Like I say, I like to go at a slightly different tact to what everyone else is doing. And yeah, the way I go is I pick a show, I start watching for a bit, and find the clips I want, and then move on. Like I'm not so much buying into all the different drama stories because I just think Aaron's a goofball, and it's easy to make fun of, just the simple little things he does. So. Just a couple of things here. Dayla said it's a soap opera. There's a bit of that. Like it's.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of middle-aged men getting their sort of soap opera drama. Like a lot of people refer to it as WWE stuff all the time because, especially the Shuli Network, where they're working Stuttering John and doing works and all such lame garbage. There was another comment I wanted to see. Oh, here's one. Red Bar introduced me to steel toe. That's interesting. I hear a lot about Red Bar. I don't know. Like I've heard some of the lore of Red Bar and what he supposedly destroyed Patrick Melton and some other people he's gone after, but I'm just not familiar with Red Bar's work. So thanks for joining. Dayla gifted 5 United States of Australia memberships. Thank you very much, Dayla. Priming the pump, as he likes to say. Our mod trying to help us out. All right, well, let's get into the meat of the show.
Aaron's boring, and April adds nothing. It's gonna be great. We're scripting this morning. Come on, it's time for Movie and the Scrimp. It's time for Movie and the Scrimp. It's gonna be mediocre as fuck. It's time for Movie and the Scrimp.
Yes, it is that time again.
Movie
On
time.
a Sunday morning to talk movie. And so, yeah, as the show says, the title and the thumbnail, Goodbye, Matt. So, loyal friend and co-host Matt has got a new career opportunity. What we don't know. But he's moving on to greener pastures, no longer a regular on Steel Toe. So, of course, this week, I thought that's got to be the show that I watch and bring for the week. So, to kick things off, he starts out the show talking about how he was going to give the whole goal, or, all the money they made for the day to Matt because he'd had some sort of lottery win, or he'd come into a little bit of money, but he missed the morning goal by 195, and so the money he'd won had to go to the morning goal. So he still had to hit the night goal before he would give Matt any money as a parting gift. your friend, like, you could give the guy a gift, like maybe just, give him a bottle of whiskey or something that he's into, like as a friend, as a gift for being on the show. No, Aaron needs the audience to just give Matt some money after they've given Aaron some money. But after discussing that a little bit, this is where we get into our clips. So discuss the goal and how much money Matt was going to get out of it. And then we have an issue with Matt's phone going off. So that's where we're going to kick it off.
Of your fun. We appreciate it. We just love that you're here, quite frankly. Yeah. Klopogram with $1 says, good luck in the future, Matt, as you transition into Maxine.
Oh.
I hope all your surgeries go well.
Well, here.
I did actually leave this bit because this is classic steel toe humor. This is just before the phone goes off. But classic steel toe humor, steel toe fan. Of course, he's going to get transition surgery. And what kind of great quip has Matt got to follow up?
Here's the thing. If you give enough money tonight, I could maybe upgrade them C cups to D cups. That surgery would go a little better. Oh, sorry. I did not cancel or turn off that ringer. I turned off the other. No, I turned it off. Why the fuck? Yo, you know what? It's probably in some other volume fucking setting.
Right now, there you lost $20, Matt.
I tried. I turned the volume down before the show, and it was the wrong volume apparently because there's 4 of them on a fucking Android.
As a broadcasting control freak.
I love this when he goes into, I'm the professional. Let me take you to school, Aaron. I do love this. But Matt's girlfriend took to Reddit the other week to explain how Matt is actually really intelligent and he just plays the role of dummy on the air just to be a fool. Mike, we've covered a few people and Get My Go over the years. Isn't that always the go-to from a moron on the internet? Is I'm just playing a character. This is not really me in the role.
Yeah, we've heard that multiple times. The most famous one was Brother Martin's, and I wish that I would have clipped that because I don't even know what episode that was on, but it was such an epic explanation of, Brother Martin and John Wingling, that they're characters, and so that basically they can say whatever they want, and
exactly.
Responsible for it. Yeah, they're not responsible because they're playing characters, even though they don't act any different. They're acting as themselves,
Oh, so if you're a racist actor and
not that they would. Movie. I mean, that's the two of those. The two of them, Wingling and Brother Martin, and that whole crew. They don't really say anything offensive. They're never. Oh. They're not. It's not like they're making racist jokes or anything like that. I think the only thing that kind of ventured in that territory, Dean, was, the Aussie guy, was when didn't Brother Martin say something about some kind of Middle Eastern joke?
Yeah, I think he definitely said something about Muhammad or the Muslim faith or something like that. I do remember that.
Yeah.
There was something that you honed in on back early on with Get My Go. I do forget what that was.
That would go even better today than it would probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he never, he got called out on it. He never did anything like that again.
Yeah.
I wish. I don't have that clipped either. But I'm sure our good friend MW would know what that was all about.
Definitely. Yes, he would indeed.
So is the church is the church thing a bit with Brother Martin, or is he really?
Well, he's not. Yeah, I mean, we could get into this later with the Get My Go segment.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But he denounced religion, I believe.
He did.
Recently. Yeah.
Organized religion.
Organized religion. Yes. Yeah. All right. Let's get back to the toe.
Yeah. I'm having a bad day.
Okay.
I see Johnny looking and clicking around and typing, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm just reading the chat." I'm banning everybody from reading the chat while they're doing the show because
I only go to the chat when you're in the chat.
No, you don't even need to do that.
Oh, but it's kind of fun sometimes.
Well, I know, but I'll just do this. I'll switch over to the next story.
Then them come up.
Those are the money ones. I need to see those.
He needs to see the money ones. That's very important. So what's about to happen here is he's about to describe everything he hates about his co-hosts. And he's got to shit all over Jonny, and he's going to take some time to shit on Jonny, and he doesn't want Matt to interrupt him shitting on Jonny. Conversation that maybe he could just have with Jonny behind the scenes and not try and embarrass him on air. But anyway.
But it's you guys aren't good enough to read the chat.
But you said I could go to the chat if you're in the chat.
I was wrong.
Oh,
I was wrong because you guys, you don't
but
follow.
my phone ringing is not relevant to that.
No. It's both. What I'm saying is this more. You're putting. I'm trying to talk about the Johnny thing first.
Okay.
Then I'm going to get to you.
Okay.
Hang on, Matt. Hang on. Let me shit all over my other friend first. I've got my shitting on you still to come. All right, just let it roll, let it flow.
In fact, give me those two phones. Hand me
No,
those.
I can't give you that one.
Just hand me them both.
I can hand you one. I
You
can
give
hand you
me-
that one.
Is that a work one?
No, this is the work one.
That's what I mean. Is that a work one?
Yeah.
All right. That one can go over there.
Ooh.
I would
All right,
slap
fellas.
somebody.
Tough love.
I wanted to go around the horn here. So Robbie would slap him if he did that. Mike, what would be your reaction?
A nice backhand.
Yep.
Yeah.
Josh?
Oh, it's definitely a backhand. What the fuck?
Yeah, I got to be honest. My first thought was I would smack a guy for taking my phone and throwing
You
it
know,
away.
like it would be one thing back in the day when phones were like a piece of garbage and like $10. Like you can steal a phone and get like a felony charge in some states because of how expensive phones are now. You're not throwing my phone even if it's on a pillow.
It's a fucking mini computer.
Yeah, I know.
I better get to this because he'll be sitting there going, "Oh, look, there's something in the chat. There's something in the chat." Oh, now the chat moved. But Echo Pineapple, thank you for becoming a member on YouTube.
All right, Echo.
He's a member of our team, and now he's a member of the channel. So, thank you very much, Echo.
He is a freak.
So yeah, so taking the phone and throwing it away. Yeah, dick move. Let's continue.
How dare you?
So,
Not getting my work.
Sorry. Robbie, a natural with that girthy black thing in front of his mouth. Yes. Thank you, Raving Ninja. Robbie brought that chat up, by the way, so he loves it. He loves
Oh,
it.
and that one's
You're not
important
supposed
right
to-
now.
so then Johnny
Yeah,
is looking at the chat and he's reading it like I'm talking to him. I'm setting up the next topic. I'm setting up
Yeah.
the next thing. And his job is to feed me, to
Yeah.
react and feed,
Okay.
keep the ball in the air. I always said this about Oz. Best guy keeping the ball in the air, man, in the business.
He's a good volleyball guy.
Nobody better at volleyball than Oz.
Can you imagine that? The best in the business. Absolute best. He was on a shitty show in St. Cloud, Minnesota. Like, don't you think he was the best in the business? He might have gone a little bit further in radio. Like, his hyperbole is pretty incredible sometimes. He's very impressed with himself and what his show used to be.
And when I'm looking, it's kind of like when I don't make eye contact with people because I'm terrible at it.
Yes,
and
you
they
are.
kind of go like this and like, are you fucking like, dude, are you listening?
It's a fun game with you.
I get that way with like when when we're doing a show and it's not going well, and I look at the other guy and he's just like, he's got that face on staring at something. I'm like, I know he ain't staring at me. So I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, it's just stuff in the chat. Get the fuck, stop with the. There's no reason for the. Here's what I say to my coach, and I said this in the radio days too. You remember?
Just before we continue. So I love that he explained, and I think it was Adam Bush that astutely pointed this out, that Aaron has to have his co-host sitting next to him, doesn't like looking people in the eye. So he points out that he doesn't like looking people in the eye, but you have to look him in the eye when he's
I was about to
talking.
say the same thing. It's like, God forbid you look at the chat because you don't want to look me in the eye. Only I'm allowed to do that.
Yes, it's insane.
Remember this.
Yeah.
If you want to read the chat, go be a listener. That's a great. That is a wonderful time to read the chat.
So there's a passive aggressive shot over at Johnny. You don't stop reading the chat, you can fuck off. Go be a listener. I've got to tell you something, Aaron. He's not a listener now, so he won't be if he leaves the show. Johnny never listens to your show. He has no idea what's going on.
Is when you're a listener. Absolutely 1,000%. Go for it. And then the phone thing, to go back to you now. So I'm just having a tough, I'm having like a tough focus day,
Yeah.
you know, because
Take some Adderall.
you're just like, quit reading, quit typing, quit doing shit. Because I don't know if you're watching right now, but misses like this could cost you your job. So fucking focus and let's make this thing hot.
But I already
Let's
quit.
do it. Not you. Now we're back on the Johnny thing.
So literally, this was all a rant at Johnny. He went back to Matt because Matt gave him an extra thing to bitch about in the phone, which has nothing to do with Jonny. It just added to his frustration to yell at Jonny. And yeah, pointing out that, yeah, you might get fired if I don't hit these goals. Matt's like, I'm going. Like, it makes no. So this is all just an argument with Jonny when Johnny's not there.
And with you, it's more like, I wish I had Zumok's drop of myself. God damn it, Matt, you know better.
I do know. And again, I muted the fucking. It would. That's the one thing. Like Android with their fucking 4 different volume levels. You fucking scroll down on one of them. Apparently, that was the wrong one.
Yeah. MSO says poor Johnny had no show today. You know, I'll tell you why he didn't have a show today. Because, you know, before today's show, he's like, no, my goal's doing great. I'm like, oh, fucking wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great that you can make money off me because I ain't making any money off me. That's nice.
He does need a lot less money, apparently. That's what he says.
Yeah. No, I know. It's not an amount that would have really helped us today.
Wow.
Wow. Shit on him just a little bit more.
He just dumped all over Jonny there, complaining that Jonny was, meeting his goal when Aaron isn't. But also, it's such a pissy amount of money. I wouldn't even move the needle for Aaron. But also, he's broke. Give him money. He's missing goals. The show's going to disappear. Aaron's doing fine, folks. You don't need to donate to him. He's got money banked up. I'm sure of it. You do the math on these goals, and even if he's doing fake donations from time to time, you do the math on these goals. He's doing well. NJ Ranger 201, thanks for the $1.99. Steel Toe lost its Igor. Now it's down to Renfield.
Yeah, it's a vampire.
Johnny was the Igor?
Yeah, I think it's a vampire reference. I'm not.
Yeah, Renfield was Renfield. Oh, sorry, Mike. Yeah, Renfield was Dracula's helper, I think.
Okay.
It was, Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein.
Nice.
His helper. I think. I could be wrong.
Well, I will trust your.
It sounds legit.
Yeah, you're good with this stuff. So obviously you saw in them there how like he was bitching to them about, the dog's barking. Yay. Them bitching about him bitching about them getting distracted by the chat, etc. This then happens not 2 minutes later,
from what I understand.
I wouldn't say weird.
I don't know.
I just think he was done with this.
He was done with everything. It wasn't just this.
Yeah.
Like, he just became done.
Not only
he
that,
wanted to go do something different.
With Corey, I also feel like
He got upset his gay ops shit didn't work with your show a few times. I know that.
No,
I can promise
Wait,
you
I thought he
that
said he
happened
doesn't
a
want
couple
people on their
times.
phones.
Fucking know.
Yeah. It's all right for him because that's where he gets donations, but he's literally just telling Matt and Jonny that they're not good enough to be looking at other things while on the show, and then just completely distracted.
Oh, his focus is gone. His focus is gone.
Yeah. And he's gonna I think he's gonna half listen to Matt here for a minute, just to, I guess, play the volleyball as he was talking about before.
Oh, what? Go ahead.
Oh, his gay ops shit where he tried to fuck with your show. I called you and told you about one of them. Like, dude, don't even fucking acknowledge it.
He's not even
That
listening.
was one of the last times he fucking streamed.
So you
he
ratted
got all
him. You ratted
fucking
him
butthurt.
out.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You wanted to? Yeah. I wasn't the one in this fucking Discord. Good luck figuring that out, bud. But someone ratted him the fuck out.
Wait, is there something between you and Corey?
No.
I love good luck figuring out exactly, Matt. We got no idea what you're talking about, but this thing that Aaron does is bonkers with the microphone. He lifts it up, and he'll do this so many times throughout the show. It always falls back to the exact same spot it was in.
Ben Maller, I think, does that when I was in the studio. I think it's like, so when I read a book, I have to like rub the page the entire time. It's like a physical tick or whatever. I think he does that too. So he'll complain if somebody has broken the mic before he gets on, because the people on the weekend are just like animals, and because then he can't move the mic and break it himself. And so he'll be like, oh, the mic's broken. That's great.
Oh, there you go. It's a radio guy tick.
Yeah.
Oh, but I just thought it was shitty how he's trying to fuck with your show. He just had this weird fucking attitude. It's like, what are you doing?
I do think
you could both make money off of each other and have something together and work together. No, you're just gonna fucking be this asshole.
I think Corey was resentful of April's spot that she got here.
Mm-hmm.
I think Corey always kind of felt that she didn't earn it and she wasn't worth that. I kind of felt that vibe. And I know other people would tell me that too. They'd be like, I don't think Corey's happy that, April gets the, what she gets, and that he feels she's made it not like the radio show.
Here's the problem with that. You're the fucking boss.
Attaboy, Matt. Always stick up for Aaron. What I find interesting there is Aaron has said that the whole April thing was a mistake. He should never have brought her on the show and all of that. So isn't Corey right then in feeling like she didn't deserve it? Because you've kind of admitted that she didn't deserve it.
It validates.
And so, yeah, it kind of validates Corey's point. And like, maybe you should go to Corey and say, hey man, I'm really sorry about that. Like, it was poor judgment on my part. But no. It's always got to be spun in whatever way Aaron needs it to be spun at that time. So we get into Corey a little bit more. Now, I remember when Corey left. And it is interesting how Aaron does gaslight and tries to rewrite history. So here's Aaron's telling of what happened with Corey.
And there you go. But I brought my guys with me from the radio, and I wanted to hang on to them. And so far, I have been remarkably unsuccessful about hanging on to any of them.
Yeah, he said the secret word.
Well, I've been here and there.
You have been here
back
and there.
and forth, and I've had like real life shit come up.
I guess the only one we've really, like, the only radio guy that we've lost due to just like we're fucking failing and we're broke is Corey, because Oz was a health thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oz was a drunk.
Oz couldn't do it anymore. And then Corey was just, we can't afford this
and
any longer.
Now, I remember what happened with Corey. And this is way back, early 2023, when Melton had just discovered Steel Toe, and Melton was sniping Steel Toe every morning on Nobody Likes Onions. And one morning he noticed that Corey looked like he was watching Nobody Likes Onions off to the side on his phone or whatever. So Patrick started putting messages on the screen for Corey saying, I'm giving you half of my super chat money today if you do certain things on the show. So Corey was slipping in little phrases and stuff that the NLO audience was encouraging him to do. Fun, harmless stuff. And yeah, it was quite amusing. Then not long after that, obviously Corey and Aaron had a bit of a argument about it. And Corey left the show and said he wanted to go pursue his own, his own creative direction and all of that. So yeah, it wasn't that they were too broke to keep Corey on. Corey chose to leave after a fight. Now, Matt does vaguely remember how it all went down, but he doesn't exactly remember.
$3 from Atomic Ray says, Corey is done with Spurgs in here, Matt. Ask Grinch about how that goes. Shut up, Matt. You don't know shit.
Yeah, no, you don't know the bullshit he was trying to pull.
Let's talk about bullshit.
Like I said, I don't even remember the fucking details. I just know I called you and was like, dude, don't even fucking acknowledge this thing that he's trying to do right now, because it's just a bunch of nonsense. It's gay ops. It's fucking stupid.
Now, gay ops usually refers to doxing, giving out addresses, contacting people's employers, all that. That's gay ops, not just throwing in some silly sentences in the middle of a show, making yourself some extra money on the side. Like the gay ops is a bit extreme. But yeah, I love this. It's the last chance to showcase Matt after his girlfriend took to Reddit to tell us how smart Matt is. This little explanation is just fantastic.
And then we just disappeared. And then Corey got all pissed off that someone fucking ratted him out. And I'm like, okay, good luck. And great, you tried to do some dumb shit. And someone was like, yeah, this is gay. So they said something, and now we're done with it. I could probably tell you what it is, but my phone's across the fucking room right now.
I may or may not have thrown his phone across the room.
He's the boss. He's the boss.
Were you about to say something, Mike?
No,
No.
I don't get this. I really don't understand this whole universe. I guess people could say the same thing about us and our thing, but
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah, if you don't get it, you don't get it. But it's like, I know all these names. I hear these names through you guys and through our chat and stuff, and I don't know one guy from the next.
They all look the same.
This all descended from a Stuttering John thing.
Yeah, look, so the Stuttering John thing got quite big.
Yeah,
and a bunch of shows sort of started doing the Stuttering John thing, and then I guess when Stuttering John went away for 8 months, like people started looking for other targets to make fun of and all of that. And so for me at the time, Steel Toe had come on the scene through some Stuttering John stuff, and I went, this guy sucks. Why isn't someone making fun of this guy? And that's when Patrick Melton popped up, and I've become a huge Nobody Likes Onions fan because he was the guy that was actually covering this dork that everyone was giving a pass to, and then he gets involved in a wife swapping situation with Nick Recator, and it all blows up, and that's when everyone else starts paying attention to how much of a goofball and an idiot this guy is.
The story got really juicy.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of evolved pretty rapidly over the last 6 to 9 months.
Yeah,
I've got one more Aaron clip, I believe. And what was this one? Oh yeah, I think this is a pretty quick one. The body language here I thought was interesting.
No, I remember a bigger loss than that a few years ago. I'm like, that's not helping me right now.
Yeah, I started this clip a bit early because just watch this gay little sip here.
Let's just call the 190 today the biggest L in Steel Toe history. Numero uno, Josh Denny fan says, does this mean Matt owes every single dollar under the goal? I like that idea. No, I'm just going to keep it and go, I don't have anything to fucking pay you with.
Did he even make a drink out of it?
That
Yeah, I know.
I feel like goals and all that should almost be like a pro athlete thing too. Like if you.
So first of all, see the way his hands are going. Like, that's real weird stuff.
Draw a certain amount of money, we'll pay you your contract. If you're not drawing us some money and you're a detriment to the team, we're not going to pay you any money.
Did you see that? Did you see the way his hands were going forward, and then when he got to detriment to the team, he turned and basically pointed at Matt and said, detriment to the team, ladies and gentlemen. I just thought that was interesting. So that wraps up the Steel Toe coverage for this week. And next up, I thought we'd do a little bit more story time with Gino, and I need to come up with some sort of a stinger or intro for this, but decided to tune into a episode of Geno Bisconte show. What was it called? Gratcast, I think it's called, or something like that. And I just clipped I don't know if we'll go the whole 7 minutes, but it's a 7-minute story, and I believe the story is explaining why he was late for the show today.
When I first moved up here, me and my good friend Tommy Amato, he'll be there tonight. We would do comedy in Brooklyn. Tommy would book rooms out there. Tommy still books rooms in Brooklyn, former roommate of mine. And a little iced coffee for the good guy.
So this is my thing with Gino. He tells stories like a woman, but more like a ditzy bitch, I guess. He always has to branch off on other little ways, little bits that don't go anywhere and are completely irrelevant and pointless. But he's got to dance off in those directions. And like he took a sip of his iced coffee. He's got a comment on his iced coffee.
Oh my God, my fucking bootleg iced coffee. Look at that. It's got that big cube floating in it. Bum behavior. Squirrel nuts. Hey, faggot. We don't have language like that here, Marcy Rhodes. Gino, ask Keanu to clean that mic filter. Is that her wifely? It's got cat hair on it. Is that bothering you? Is that bothering you, Sean? So last night, I reach out to my buddy. I get a text from my buddy, Todd Montesi. Todd Montesi is another young comedian, although he's not young anymore. But when we met him, very young. Me and Tommy met him when he was very young. He was God, wasn't even. I don't even think he was 20 yet.
So remember, he's telling the story as to why he's late today, why he was late for the show. Now we're finding out about some comedian he met. He's a young comedian, but he was young when he met him. I mean, just focus, Gino, please.
And he books a comedy show still in Brooklyn. He reached out to me. He's like, hey, what are you doing tomorrow night? Exactly. He said, what are you doing tomorrow night? I'm like, I got a gig. He said, well, then come by tonight. Little bar. Literally, it's called the 101 Bar. And to quote Seinfeld, if you know, you know, Seinfeld, it's the corner of First and First, Jerry. It's the nexus of the universe. So I go out and I do the show, and a good time is had by all. And, you know, it's a shit show. There's like 5 people in the crowd. And I'm so.
Well, it was a good time had by all. It was a shit show.
All 5 people had a great time.
5 people, yeah, but yeah, all 5. It was great. Good times.
I'm sorry, but to this day, I'm very proud of the fact I love that shit. I love when you get 5 people in the crowd. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited about tonight's show. Sold out already. Of course, it's a benefit for the Operation Yellow Ribbon people. That's going to be great.
Jenny's would need to love doing stand up to 5 people, because otherwise he'd have a pretty sad life.
But you know, it's just like, let's lift some weights. Let's lift some comedy weights. And so we do the show, and I bump into this new guy by the name of Walt. Fucking just he's a firefighter. He's just fucking been doing it. He's like, I've been doing it about a year, just getting into it. And of course he's fun. Of course he's a fun dude. Of course he likes a beverage. So me and him are Mother Cabrini never touches stuff, so we have a couple. Not gonna lie to you. It shows like that, I bring a flask with me. I bring a flask. So I had, no cry for help here. So I bring a flask with me, and me and him literally are popping the flask, bullshitting with people, and show gets done, you know? And I'm like, dude, fucking, what are you doing? He's like, let's go grab a drink. So we drank for.
Wait, wasn't he just drinking?
Yeah.
I thought that was the point of, I always take a flask. Like, that was the thing. It's like, well, what are you up to now? Now that you're done drinking, what are you up to now? Well,
let's do more drinking.
Want to go drink? Yeah.
Is this why he was late? Are we still trying to get to there?
Yeah, we're working our way to why he was late. Obviously, it all relates back to the comedy show he was doing the night before.
We drank for a couple more hours. We did. Not going to lie to you. And then I get home, and on the walk home, I thought I'd surprise the wife by getting White Castle, because White Castle hates me, and sometimes they have a special, and it's 10 sliders for $8. Oh, what a.
Does that turn you on, Robbie?
Possibly.
10 sliders for $8.
That's a good
deal
deal.
for
That is a good deal.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Mistake. What a mistake. Hold on, I'll show you.
Yeah, just
What
walk
a
away.
mistake. I think the bag.
Walk away. Keep talking too while you walk away. That's good.
Oh my goodness.
What are we gonna see? Is
What a
deposit?
professional. Just want to remind everyone, Anthony Cumia lost money for 2 years to pay this man.
So it wasn't the booze. It's this.
Oh,
It's
look at this. My garbage. Look at my garbage that
How
I have.
much? That's a lot of food.
It's that. It's all
Well,
the
all the-
White Castles. And
We believe
when
you,
I get
Gino.
done, I get
You
home.
didn't need to see
Kiana
your trash.
had ordered some food. She's nibbling. Yes, Vagabond. There was both of them, Vagabond. A standing fucking ovation. So I get home, and Keanu's eating. What were you? Is she asleep? What were you eating? Yeah.
Again, is this important to the story? What were you eating?
This was
And
not
she's
why
gonna
you were
yell.
late.
Yeah, she's going to yell from off mic.
She had some chips and salsa, chips and dip, excuse me. And then I'm eating, and we're watching part 3 of the Simone Biles thing, which I love. Love me some Simone Biles. I think she's great. She's the best female athlete ever, right?
Focus, Gino. What's this got to do with you being late today?
I would say she's better than Serena. I would. You could make an argument either way. I won't fight you if you say it's not, but I would say it's Serena. It's her, and then Serena. Hold on.
This is why he was late. He sat up all night debating this topic with himself, and he only settled on it just before the show
Who's
started.
my mic level? I'll boost my
Oh
fucking.
yeah, this is just for you, Mike.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna take that.
I was going to say this earlier. He doesn't have to boost his mic level. He just needs to get close to his mic. You'll notice that when he occasionally drifts forward, he sounds great, but then he
Yes.
comes way back and he's telling stories over here. I mean,
Yeah.
how do you not know that by now?
No,
I don't know, man.
exactly. And he's about to illustrate it perfectly.
It's her and then Serena. Hold on. Boost my mic level. I'll boost my fucking mic level, buddy. I'll
that's
boost the
perfect.
goddamn mic level. I can do this shit all day. How's that? Better?
No.
Is that
Yep.
better? Let me know.
No,
Let me
not
know.
better now.
Mike, by the
Sounds
way.
worse.
Lean in.
So then
That's when it
here's
was
the beauty
better.
of it. We get done, and when I say we get done, I look at Keanu, and the food's gone, and she tells me that I ate fucking 9 of them. Are you fucking with me? I ate 9 of them. I ate 9 of 10 burgers. That's a bad move.
Robbie's just getting started at 9.
That's just a snack. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not a genius, but I would think 9 of those burgers is a bad fucking move. By the way, shout out to my man fucking, of course, Tex and Patrick P. Cannot thank Tex and Patrick P enough. Look at that. Hold on. I'm ease into.
Can he not just do this? Like, why does he have to do a screen share of a Rumble rant or Super Chat or whatever the fuck it is? It's very weird.
Sobriety with me. Grateful for you, Gino, and 6. And I guess Keanu is lacking, though she is just a little boy. That's how Daddy likes it. Thank you, Tex and Patrick P. So was there a standing ovation? Sure. They stood. Actually, I'm not going to lie to you. 2 of the guys in the front row were just these young fucking assholes. And I don't mean like fucking assholes. I mean, they were just young, which made.
So we're back to last night. I don't know if that was it. Like he got White Castle and that's what caused him to be late because he, I guess, hungover.
Or the drinking.
Yeah.
Between the drinking, the White Castles, or whatever, this guy's a professional filibuster. I put him on the floor to just fucking bullshit.
But yeah, he's back to last night. So I don't know if we are going to get a resolution to this story, fellas.
Them assholes. They were trying to help. They were yelling. One guy, I don't even know who he was. But apparently he was on one of the Kill Tonys at Madison Square Garden. And he's a nobody. No one's ever heard of him. But he's
Gino, you're a nobody's well, man. So I hate to break it to you. And nobody knows who Gino is.
like, he's screaming and he's like, he literally yelled at these 2 kids. And this is why I love them. They broke him. He yells at these 2 kids. I was just in front of 17,000 people. And I wanted to be like, yeah, you're in front of 5 idiots and 2 assholes right now. What are you doing? Make it work. Make it fucking work. How does this that T-shirt causes fights? A fan gave me this T-shirt that came in all the way from Australia.
That is a Queensland. I think that's the state of origin rugby shirt, I assume. And the Queensland New South Wales rivalry is a blood rivalry. So assume that's what the chatter is referencing. Gino doesn't know any of that.
He was in town once and he's in the studio and he was just he was great. So circling all the way back, that's reason 1 why we started a little late.
What?
Oh, shit, we got back to it.
What was reason 1? I'm still not sure what was reason 1. I guess drunk and hungover.
The White Castle trash. The
The
bag
White Castle,
clearly
yeah.
affected him.
Yeah, maybe that was he was cleaning up. He was cleaning up all his garbage from eating all his White Castle. I am confused.
Or it was the 9 White Castles he consumed. It's
yes,
somewhere along those lines.
Doing a big shit, next day shit or something like that. Yeah.
One is 9 White Castle sliders, and let me tell you, I didn't skimp. They have all kinds of options now. I got 5 with jalapeno cheese, and I don't think that fucked me up. I think the 5 with they have some like garlic. They have garlic cheddar, which you can tell. I'm going to tell you, the fine people at White
All right, we're off again. Off onto another tangent, Gino.
Castle. I don't think they have some organic natural plant where they're putting fresh garlic into freshly made cheddar cheese. I don't. I think what they do is take Velveeta and mix in 9 chemicals and 8 of those very red dye and yellow dye and dye and just flat out fucking dye number 5, and they put those in there. So that's what I had. All right. So I don't want to. So it's one of these get closer to the mic things, Sean, because just not feeling that today. Hold on. I'll just turn stuff up and talk louder. Is that better?
Yeah.
Is that better?
What is there not to feel? What are you
I'm
talking about?
Going back to
we had Bruce Pritchard on. Well, we didn't have him on the show, but we covered a Bruce Pritchard episode where he said the same thing. He wanted the mic like 3 feet away from him, and this is a guy that's been in TV production for almost 40 years. You know, I don't understand why they don't want the microphone right in front of him. Does it bother you?
Yeah, it's amazing that people don't understand that microphones are designed to be put right in front of your face.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how they work.
I'm not feeling
Anyway, that does it for story time with Gino. Now the next segment, Mike, this will be a little bit of a shock to you, but I'm going back to something that you produced about 4 years ago at this point. And I've been listening to it a few times over the last week or so. I've just clipped the beginning of it, but as our first little introduction to Jonny podcasting and Get My Go, here's our intro song for it.
My last name is Wangland. Who? Wangland, the Scandinavian god. I'm 38 years old, and I've been successful at every job I've ever done, and this isn't an ego boost or an arrogant or cocky nature. I've been successful at everything I've ever done because I have high morals and values.
I'm like a circus freak juggling with my peenie over here.
Because it's pretty simple. If you don't want to use drugs or alcohol, don't use them. I've snorted enough coke in my day, along with other things. I don't do this just because I love it. I do love it, and that's why I do it. But I do it also to hopefully continue to grow something I'm passionate about and financially make more money.
My stupid Raw and SmackDown review from somebody that's never been in the business that doesn't know a fucking thing about it.
When you're with the big world order, Richie, what are they, man? 4.
Right.
Yep, my go. Huge and monumental. Yep, my go. We're 130% transparent all the time. Yep, my go. My numbers have gone up 248%. Yep, my go.
You want to enjoy some sex with some men? Mike Durband, good guy, great guy. Love Mike. Nothing but great things to say about Mr. Durband.
Yes.
Classic.
Classic creation. I can't believe it's 4 years ago that you put that together, Mike. How much time went into that? Because you recorded all that but the drum track, right?
Yeah, that's the actual drum track from the AC/DC song, and I put everything else onto that. I recorded everything else on top of that because I can't play drums. That's the only thing I can't do. And I built the song up, and then I knew in my mind, like, you know, how I wanted it to go, and you know, I just had a bunch of clips from him, and I was like, I got to do something with this, because I don't think we had like a short stinger kind of theme song at first. It was like 10 seconds long, but I wanted like a full song.
Yeah. No, it's brilliantly put together, the clip. I do remember at the last minute I found that I've stored enough cocaine in my day where you were able to put that in at the like, because that was perfect after if you don't want to use drugs and alcohol, just don't do it. Tremendous stuff. So yes, Jonny podcasting is the guy that, well, it was the birth of Get My Go, right, Mike? Like that was why we started doing Get My Go, and the first season of Get My Go, the first 50 episodes are all devoted to Jonny podcast and his cast of clowns around him, which I was at one time. I was one of his clowns, but Get My Go didn't begin until after I'd split from Jonny podcasting. Mike, you said you'd brought a clip today. Did you want to kick off the thing with, or first of all, do you want to give any other explanation before we move on, and sort of your thoughts on Jonny podcasting and how it evolved and all that?
Well, you know, like you said, it's been 4 years, or is it? It's got to be more by now, right? I don't know.
We started like June 2020, or you guys started.
I was going to say, I listened to you guys doing that shit through the COVID time, right? When COVID was basically starting.
Yeah, it was right around that time. So, you know, it looked like we had defeated him. We made him disappear at first. So we put that first pilot episode out, the one that Rad Rob and Richie were on our show with us, and they were, talking about John and everything. John, that's what John went away. He already said he was going to go away. He said he was done, and then he came back like 2 weeks later, and then at some point over maybe 2 years later, I felt like we finally vanquished him, and he disappeared for a long time. It was probably almost a year, and then he came back, and he's like, now he's worse than ever now, man. He's really worse than ever. But if you watch any of his shows or if you listen to him talk, he acts like they're like this super popular show, an entity, not just one show, but I mean, he's doing like a Leave It to Beaver show with his dad. He does Wrestling with Reality, which is like the mental health show. I don't know what him and I don't know what he does. He does a lot of stuff. He has a lot of time to put out a lot of programming now. A lot has changed in his life, I guess. So,
except the numbers.
Yeah, the number. I mean, dude, look at his. I mean, look at his numbers.
I saw some of them on one of his the Random Conversation podcast or whatever.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I mean, you may get single digit numbers on one of those things, but it's like, it's clear the guy. I mean, he just likes talking to that guy Richie. He's cast Brother Martin off, and now he's got his best friend Richie back under his wing, and it's clear these two guys just love talking to each other.
It's like a lot of sorry, Ninja. I was just gonna say it's like a lot of guys in the Dabbleverse where they do just need a friend.
Yeah,
and they want to do a show just to talk to somebody.
Yeah, I mean, it's two guys from across the country. I don't think they've ever met. They were supposed to meet, and they never met. I think because COVID canceled that one convention they were going to go to in Atlanta. Right. I think. Yeah. So I don't think they've ever met, but yeah, they're like best friends, and they just like talking. They think that other people enjoy their opinions and talking. And I don't know, 5 people do maybe. I'm not someone that brags about our numbers. Like Get My Go numbers are not massive. We're lucky at these days if we get to 1,000 views on YouTube. I don't care. I don't ever brag about numbers. I don't brag about anything relating to that. We do it because we enjoy it. We have a good time. Same thing like them. They enjoy it too. We enjoy, whether it's 3 or 4 or 5 of us on there, we enjoy doing the show. And then we have a Facebook group full of people that love it. There's always great comments, and it's fun.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, and look, at the end of the day, people have got it. Like, we've plugged away for 3 years to pretty much what our live viewers right now. There's probably how many people total were listening to what we were doing for our first few years, and then over the last few months. Yeah, now we're pushing up to where we're getting between 500 and 1,000, and a few are popping over 1,000. Like, yeah, I don't like to shit on people for numbers because everyone's just trying their best and trying to find an audience and get their opportunity. But it's more when you watch it and go, oof, like you've got nothing to talk about. There's nothing interesting about it. There's nothing funny it's. Yeah. Oh, I got the bug back, Mike, today. Like I started clipping, and back in 2020, I went through John's entire catalog and found a whole bunch of clips and found some absolute bangers.
You can pick any episode that he's ever done at random. I mean, he's done more episodes than anybody I know. I mean, if I wish he kept track and had like a list, like a compendium of everything he's done. He's done thousands of podcast episodes, about
he was very prolific.
Topics. Yeah.
Particularly back like 2019, 2020, like multiple shows a week and just stacking them up. I
mean, even now, like you said, you got the bug back. It's like today you asked me to clip something and I looked at his YouTube channel. I haven't looked at it in a while. And I'm just looking at these topics. It's like, it's so generic. Like he's just doing basic wrestling Mark, like what made you fall in love with wrestling? And that's a 2 hour and 14-minute conversation between them. WCW trivia night, 2 hours, 19 minutes. Pro wrestling then versus now. Is pro wrestling really the hottest it's ever been? 2 hours, 5 minutes. Like, dude, this is I don't know, man. If you got time for that and you enjoy it, I guess, but
look, to each his own. I don't understand the people that, watch Steel Toe unironically and give money. And there'll be people that say, I don't understand why people watch this show and give him money. He's an idiot. And so, it is what it is. But so did you want to go up first with your clip and then I'll go to mine?
Yeah, it's kind of kind of generic clip, speaking of generic stuff, but I don't know, Josh and Robbie, if you know about their history, but they've changed their name back and forth so many times. Like, you'd really have to keep a list and a running list of what's going on with their names. But someone asked about it. Video file. They get, like I said, they get maybe 3 to 10 viewers, whatever show they're doing live on Facebook, and they're on Facebook, they're on YouTube. They do everything live at the same time.
Okay.
Let's see, where was it here?
All right, I see it. Let's bring it up.
Why did I change the name of the page? Jason, this was the original name of the show for right from the beginning. We changed the name of it a few years back. And when me and Richie started.
Okay, they changed the name of it. Why Aussie Guy? Why did they change the name of it originally?
I think because of Get My Go, right?
Because we ruined it. We sullied the name. We beat the name into the ground. I wish he would have admitted that on this, because he said it many times that it was because of us that he changed the name of it. But he's not going into that here.
When me and Richie started this venture ourselves, we decided to go back to the old name. We never really wanted to get rid of it in the first place. We just kind of went another direction with it years ago.
Why, John? Why'd you go in another direction?
Yes.
And it's the name that's here forever. So it was the original name 6 years ago.
Is he challenging us? do we need to make him change it again?
You know what's funny? Like, back in the day, because we've always recorded Get My Go, and you meticulously edit, and you do an amazing job. But there used to be stuff that we would talk about on the show, and then these guys would say it like that, like before the show comes out, and I'm like, is Mike in on this with them? Like, is he feeding them? Because it's like, how have they perfectly just said this to set up what we're about to talk about on our upcoming recording? Like, it always blew my mind. And this is funny because I literally just decided, let's get back into Jonny podcasting. Yeah. And I see this clip as always like he's baiting us to ruin his name again, his podcast name again.
Yeah. Like, again, I must say, I don't, if you like doing this, John, go ahead and do it. But my main thing is when he pretends that it's this massive enterprise. Like, yeah, it's not. It never was, and it never will be. It's just, don't do that, John.
Yeah, I mean, the show I've brought clips from had, I think, 24 views on YouTube. So yeah, for him to say that it's big in any way is just ridiculous. But let's move on.
It's monumental numbers, dude.
Monumental. Yeah, huge and monumental.
And
yeah, I love that he would never admit to his his bought views and all that. Like, it's obvious. Like, when suddenly you've got 2.5K, 5K views on these shows.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's like, well, it's obvious to everybody that you're buying views. But anyway. All right. So I went to the thing was called the title's going to be on it when I open the video. I think it's Diddy, sex, drugs, and baby oil. I think something along those lines.
Nice.
So they're talking the Diddy scandal. I started this and I was like, I just kept recording for the first 3 minutes. It's like, this is one of the most uncomfortable, awkward intros to a show.
The Diddy scandal. Let's get into it, but I'm going to welcome on a few people who are here right now. Jude, the dude, what's going on?
Dude, as always.
What's up, guys?
What's up, buddy? Good to see
you. Happy anniversary to you and the lovely missus.
Dude.
Thank you. 7
Beautiful
years.
Picture you guys had on there too.
Can't believe she hasn't killed me yet.
Your wife looks like the nicest person in the world from the picture I saw.
The nicest person in the world from the picture I saw.
First thing I got to say is, Richie used to have a microphone. What happened to it, dude?
Mm-hmm.
And Husey would have a major problem with the formatting of Richie's screen. Like, he's down in a little corner, and there's so much. I mean, come on, man.
So much headroom. It's incredible.
I mean, and Richie's got that huge. Richie has a huge, like, Jim the Anvil Neidhart goatee. It's like a foot long now. It's like, why wouldn't you want to show that off if you had it?
This is great. Yeah. You picked a clip I actually came across this week, and the first thing I thought was like, okay, it's Wingling with Master Yoda and Gandalf. I don't know. It's some shit right here, man.
Yeah. Now, this guy on the bottom, Jude, he's not one of the original WWR guys. Like this was Brother Martin told me that these guys that John brings on now, they were just, the handful of viewers that this show gets since they kind of rebooted it, and he's bringing them all on. So like, who's watching now if they're all on the show?
No, exactly. It's always been the case. If somebody's watching the show and contacts John, he invites them on the show.
That's how Richie got on. That's how Richie was a member of John's ill-fated Vampiro Patreon that lasted 3 weeks, and then that gave birth to Richie's career.
John needs a little less blush on the cheeks there.
Oh, dude, he's not healthy. I will tell you that. Yeah, he is. He should not be on camera. He's not healthy.
So yeah, this show, Random Conversations, it is normally Jonny podcasting up in the top left and Richie Reardon top right. That's the usual. It's just those two. For this one, they've bringing on a few special guests, but yeah, they're going to talk about marriage and anniversary, and again, Jonny podcasting makes it awkward.
Okay, so looks can be deceiving then, huh?
My wife is a lawyer. And
she knows
I love the hell out of her, but man, she went to school to argue. So
so you're never winning an argument in the house.
I love the hell out of her though, man. She makes me a better person.
She looks like a good person, man.
She taught you how to walk away, that's for sure, huh? In an argument.
Oh yeah. I'm just like, I'm out. Whatever.
Well, congrats on your anniversary to you and your lovely wife, and to many more for you and your family. And congratulations. It's a great accomplishment to have a great partner nowadays in this tough world. So
you think John's feeling a bit sad?
Yeah. I don't know why. He's got a new younger wife, so much younger. Good for him. He should be happy.
Yeah. Does he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He went. He joked about it like 6 months ago. He was like, "Oh, I'm going to the, I'm taking a little trip to the Philippines," and he goes, he goes, "You know why I'm going there?" And then Richie laughed, and then, yes, he did come back with a new bride.
Well, it's interesting because of what he's going to say coming up. But is that what they do in the Philippines? They sell beards.
They're very few and far between, that's for sure.
This is my second one. So yeah.
My second one as well. I think John could attest to that too.
Yeah, I'll be on my second one day potentially, but not right now. So, but good for you, man. That's great. I always love to see that stuff. And I did not know she was a lawyer. So
yeah.
All right, we know why Jude is hiding away at some point.
So yeah, he said he's not there yet. So maybe he's brought Richie said you could attest to that, John.
Yeah.
But he said he's not there. So maybe he's brought her back, but they're not married yet. I don't know. Maybe
I had heard from a very reliable source that they are married. And yeah, she's here full time now. And I saw a picture of the two of them at the airport. I'm not going to post it. I'm not going to share it on here, but it looks like he is sponsoring like a child. And he brought her here, for vacation or something. Like that's what the picture looked like. So good for you, dude.
Cool.
There he is.
Wingling said they're getting merch made for their fans. This guy Jude is going to have his own shirt. Who the fuck is buying that?
Bilbo, that's who.
Yeah.
Matt, have they posted their merchandise yet? Because we're gonna have to do a Go Rep Your Gear Part 2.
Yeah, that's true.
If they do,
definitely. Yeah. All right, let's keep the awkwardness going.
It's now and coming to join us all the time. He's scared.
I tell her all the time, there is no divorce this time. We have a big backyard. I'll take care of the problem. So
there you go.
There you go. All right, joining us is our friend Mr. Rewind. Rewind, how are you tonight, my friend?
Right. Rewind,
guys. What's up, buddy?
Happy anniversary, dude. That's awesome.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
Can you imagine making such a big deal about some guy's anniversary? Like everyone's gonna say who gives a shit? Fucking hell. And someone else, and there's gonna be another one that doesn't understand landscape mode. If you're gonna do it on your phone, lay it on the side, will you?
All right. What's going on, guys?
Great to see you. Did you have a nice day today?
Yeah, I met up with an old Friends with Benefits. We just caught up.
Linda McMahon and you met up, huh?
What?
Linda McMahon and you met up.
I wish, dude. We can only dream, dude. We can only dream.
Nice.
And of course, we have our friend from down under, Mr. Laza. Laza, how are you, my friend?
What? He's replaced me.
Blackjack.
Was just taking a swig of coffee as you put me on.
We're glad to put you on. Everybody's always looking for Blackjack Laza if you're not here. So I love that name Sean gave you too. It fits perfect.
It does.
So Laza, I'm guessing his name's Larry. Because the Australians tend to do that, make it Laza. And yeah, he's got the classic Aussie drongo accent, and he proves to be a drongo coming up. But yeah, I feel like my accent isn't as jarring as his very thick Australian accent.
Yeah, I'm probably starting to look a bit like Blackjack as I get older.
Grow that thick beard in like Jude, Laza. Let it get long like him.
Make it happen. Come on.
You can do it. I bet you can grow a thick beard, right?
We'll be the beard corner.
Oh, I can, but then when I've let it grow, it ends up being annoying when you get like all the bloody dry skin and face rash.
Yeah.
I usually grow up
moisturizer.
Yeah.
Do you use like a beard moisturizer, Jude?
Yeah, a little bit.
I do. I use a beard oil and stuff.
Yeah, beard oil, beard balm.
Interesting. I always just keep mine short. I only let it go long a few times. So, okay, so
I get like gray in my beard, so I look like Pavarotti or something.
I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry,
Is this where the Diddy oils come in and shit?
Yeah, that's riveting beard talk. Amazing banter from these five gentlemen that are about to take on the serious topic of Diddy. What were we going to say, Mike?
If I'm producing a show, if I'm running the show like John is, like, and someone comes on the show and they sound like that, you're getting the X. You're getting kicked off. Like the other guy doesn't have a mic. He sounds okay. This guy, it's like it's so bassy and the accent, and it's just
thick.
too loud.
It's very thick.
You can't understand a word the guy's saying. I mean, is he that necessary to have on? No. Tell him come back next week. Buy the most basic microphone and come back.
It's interesting you say that. It's interesting you say that, Mike. Does he need to be there? Well, let's go to this one that I entitled "Dumb Aussie is Clueless."
Yeah.
Have you guys been following this down under?
I heard a little bit, but I haven't read much into it. But then it does make sense. Like, I don't know a lot, but in the past you heard about the speculation that he was responsible for taking out, I'm trying to think of his name now, Tupac. And then there's also the name changes. That's a bit questionable because you think, why does he keep changing his name? Is he in trouble with the lawyers? And so it makes sense.
He also...
I really hope that's a joke. Worldwide celebrity keeps changing his name to avoid the authorities. I hope that's a joke that just bombed because it is very funny. But yeah, you're doing a show about this topic and you bring on a guy, the first thing he says, like, nah, not really been following it, not really paying it. What are you doing here then?
Oh, God. He sounds like he's underwater too. You know?
Yeah, it does sound pretty bad. There's a lot of ambient noise in the background.
Yeah, there is that too. You're right. Yes, just a mess. So let's go to John's scathing review of Diddy as he intros the segment.
Diddy, we want to talk about this on this show this week.
Yes, you did.
Like this guy, this guy is something. When you see this, Vince McMahon might be nice compared to this guy. What a if this is true, what is a gigantic pile of human filth that this man is.
I'll take, Johnny. I'll take. And he can't get wrestling off his mind. He might be. Vince McMahon looks nice next to this guy. I mean, you know, Vince McMahon still a piece of shit as well. Like it's he's always got that wrestling on the mind.
Yeah.
Anyone got any thoughts? Or I'll continue.
Oh, it's perfect. It's Wingling at its finest.
Yeah. Look, and again, bringing a topic now. Somebody needs to have some knowledge. Like, brought the Australian guy on as a guest. Like, look, earlier today, Mike wasn't interested in Steel Toe and Gino, but Mike was here for this. This is what Mike knows about. You know, he's here for something. But I'm across all these topics as the host of the show. I should be knowledgeable on what we're talking about. Let's see what the host has got to add in this instance.
He was making off his music, much like Suge Knight did to Tupac.
What was his record? Bad Boy label or something?
Bad Boy, yeah.
Bad Boy, yeah. Yeah, some shit like that. Bad Boy. I remember they were big in the early 2000s and 90s.
Yeah. Yeah, Bad Boy. You're going to talk about Diddy, and the most basic information is Bad Boy Records. Yeah, that's Diddy's label. Yeah, some shit like that. It was popular in the 90s and 2000s. I mean, yeah. So John continues in this vein when he drops this amazing piece.
Did anybody see the video that surfaced of them a few years back? I don't know how long ago it was, but there was a video. It was like him, Jay-Z was in it, a couple of other the big power players, and Diddy's talking about being a billionaire and a black billionaire, and that everybody's going to want to take it from you and get them down. You always got to protect it and all this shit. Did anybody see that video?
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I heard about it.
Yeah. It's very. I didn't realize he was like a billionaire almost. So maybe he is a billionaire. I don't know.
Beyonce is. Oh.
So again,
did they do any research for the topic?
Never. He never has. He never has.
Too?
They think they're so charismatic and all that you just riff on a topic. It'll be fine. We don't need any prep.
Every minute he says, "I don't know," or I haven't seen it like at least once or twice. I mean, and how many minutes in are we? It's just kind of crazy that they have literally. It seems like all they know is the guy's name and that he was once a rapper.
Right. That's not even cliff notes. You could at least go with cliff notes on the motherfucking shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
like you could just speed read Wikipedia and know more than they do already.
Yeah.
No, 100%. Why is this not? God damn it! I just wanted to hit a chat. Where'd it go?
Blew it up.
I've lost it. There it is. Foley, off topic. Sorry, but did Aaron really dox Aussie Guy, or did Aussie Guy have his docs already out and Aaron just spread the info because he got all upset? Yeah, look, Husey, look, I was on Get My Go. It's Dean. Like, these guys in the Mallow Militia knew me as the Aussie Guy because I was a caller to Ben Mallow, and I just went with the Aussie Guy. Aaron, I think, was using it as a way to try and intimidate me, I think, on that Husey show. It wasn't working because Husey was having fun with it by just calling me Dean all the time. I knew what the bit that Husey was doing, and Aaron latched onto that thinking he had something on me. But no, that's all it was. I think Aaron just used it as a tactic, but he didn't dox me. No, certainly not. All right, I think I've got one more. And just again, as a host, it's just so obvious when you look at his face here. He is lost. Like the show stops and it's his turn to take over and come up with a topic, and you just watch him searching for something to say.
With all these people that could potentially be involved in this, like, with the trafficking stuff, that's what I'm having trouble understanding with the trafficking on this one. Was he flying people different places and in to like come in and have these parties like Epstein was doing?
Male and female escorts were being trafficked all along the country. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Again,
what a hot take.
You brought this topic, you didn't even understand trafficking. But I'll be honest, like, it got very boring after that. Jonny Podcasting didn't talk a lot, but it became a lot about Epstein. They talked more about Epstein than Diddy. Yeah. But yeah, Richie and the bearded guy seemed to have a little bit of knowledge of what was going on. Yeah, that was kind of it. It was pretty boring. But just not having the most basic information on the topic. Foley just following up. Was the info already out? I mean, I don't know what you mean by info. My name. If there's any other info out, I'm not aware of it. But no, it's just my name. Yeah, that's all there is to that. Okay, well that wraps up Jonny podcasting.
Well, I got one more thing.
Yep. Yeah.
And this isn't a video. I sent it to you in our Twitter message, Dean. I mean, there it goes again. That's why I don't like being live.
You rat fuck piece of shit.
I like that name. It's a great name, So, Aussie Guy, I sent you. It's those 3 screenshots that someone posted in our group. It's Wingling, again, pretending he's this huge enterprise, and that if they don't do shows for a while, people are gonna start to wonder why, and they're gonna miss the show.
I won't fuck around figuring out how to bring them on screen, but I will read them.
Yeah.
We have to push back this week's.
So this is from wrestling. This is from the wrestling, because there's 3 different ones.
Yes.
This is from the Wrestling with Reality, which is what we just watched. This is from their Facebook account.
We have to push back this week's stream to next Tuesday due to some family commitments, but have no fear. We will see you all next week, and have a great week, everyone.
Nobody cares.
What's that got? 10 likes or 10 reactions?
Yeah.
That's like when we used to get like 7 viewers. I put out a sarcastic tweet though that you're something tech wise happened. So it's like to our hundreds of thousands of listeners. Yeah.
Now that's funny,
Yeah, but
he actually
obviously wasn't being serious, and they were. Is the crazy.
Yeah. So this is now the Leave It to Beaver podcast, which Jonny Podcasting does with his dad, and they watch Leave It to Beaver. Greetings all. So sorry the last few weeks have been crazy busy and we haven't been able to stream. In the next week or so, we'll be doing a show as we miss all of you. It may not be our normal Saturday night time, but we will be back real soon. Miss you all and see you soon, John and Stan.
Nice. Fucking Leave It to Beaver.
And then this one
this is from Stan.
Yeah, this one is probably the cringiest of them all, I think.
Yeah.
Again from the Leave It to Beaver. Hey, folks, this is Ward/Stan. Sorry for some of the show cancellations. Wally/John and I are blessed to have a very active family. And we have had and will have periodically holidays, anniversaries, birthdays, new births, and events for our children and grandchildren, brothers and sisters. Oh, Jesus Christ. Our family are all human service providers in real life and get mandated or called in to supervise, help, and services for others. It's what we do when we support each other by celebrating all the life events I mentioned. Many times they fall on Saturdays. We could easily tape a show, but that defeats being together live with you. Sometimes the changes happen last minute. Thanks for your understanding, Stan and John.
That's way too long. Like, I'm Ward. I'm banging fucking June. I'll be back next week. Have a go.
Yes. Well, when I went on vacation a few weeks back, at the end of the episode, I said, yeah, we won't be on next week. I'll be on vacation. That's it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have things to do on the weekend with your family. The Saturdays. You gotta spend time.
It's not like people pay to listen. It's not like it's some kind of massive Patreon that people pay money each month for, and they feel they need to give a detailed explanation. They don't. Nobody cares. Like, the only people that watch that Leave It to Beaver are like, 70-year-old people that know how to use Facebook. And they're lonely,
Yeah. All right. Mike, you just reminded me, looking at your hat, reminded me.
Talking about fucking baseball. And I love baseball.
The World Series is complete. The Dodgers are world champions.
Yes.
Absolute dominance by the Dodgers, but I want to zero in on the 5th inning of Game 5. What an amazing debacle by the Yankees. I've watched that inning so many times now, highlights of it. I've watched some great breakdowns, and one of the breakdowns I saw said that the Dodgers scouting report of the Yankees was keep the ball in play, keep it alive, they will implode on defense. That was the scouting report, and they absolutely did it. First of all, Robbie, you're our big baseball guy. What were your thoughts? Game 5.
Like, So the Aaron Judge one, that happens once in a rare while. I think he, at the last second, maybe he lost it in the lights, but I think he just took his eye off the ball. But at least he was trying to catch it. So people that are freaking out about that one, I feel like it's a little misplaced. The one that, because he was putting effort in, the lack of effort for two guys that make tens of millions of dollars, or in the case of Garrett Cole, hundreds of millions of dollars. That's something they teach in Little League, is whenever there's a ball hit to the right, just start, or to the left side of the pitcher, just start darting to first base and run until you're no longer needed. He just stopped halfway. He stopped at the exact moment it became clear he needed to actually cover first. It was a wild situation. It was something you wouldn't see in spring training when pitchers were still, that's the only time they practice that is during spring, because that's the only time they think, well, a pitcher at this level would need any training on it. I'm still flabbergasted that happened. That's just something you never see. It was an all-time brain fart at the worst possible time.
Well, and it was also interesting because it was Rizzo, wasn't it? On
first baseman.
Yeah. Even when he turns, Mookie's still a fair way from the bag. You know what I mean? Like, it was a thing of like, he was expecting to turn and flick it to Garrett Cole. But then even he kind of gave up in that moment too. Like, he made no attempt to get to the bag at that point, you know.
But
like,
at that, like 99% of the time, at that depth where he was, the pitcher's going to be there. So
no,
like,
I agree. No,
5% of the blame could be on Rizzo, because you never want to assume anything, because you know the saying about assuming. But at the same time, Garrett Cole needs to be there. Like, I mean, you see guys toss the ball to the pitcher where they're much closer to first base. So I don't know what Garrett Cole is thinking.
I 100% agree. Garrett Cole needed to be there. All I'm pointing out is once Rizzo turned and he wasn't there for the throw, it was like Rizzo was befuddled. Like, well, what happens now?
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like, he didn't think, well, I've got to gun it to first base now. Like, that thought didn't cross his mind.
I guess. Yeah.
The other one was the throw to third.
That was. I don't think that's getting enough criticism. That was. Just go to first. Like.
Yeah.
I don't understand. He didn't have an angle at all. If he was playing deep and he could throw it to third, that would be different. But even if he threw it where it wasn't in the dirt, the angle he had, it would have just hit the runner in the back of the freaking head. So, like, there's no reason not to just go to first in that situation.
Yeah, Mike, what were your thoughts? I assume you watched it.
I did, and I kind of was taking like a nap. I fell asleep during that inning, so I missed the Judge error.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And then all of a sudden, I looked up and I'm like, "Whoa, what happened?" And then the Rizzo thing happened, and then I'm just like, "This is amazing." Because I was gonna go to bed. Like, it was 0-5, and I'm like, "All right, I got to get up at 5:30. I'll go to bed. You know, game Friday night will be awesome. You know." But then all that started happening. I'm just like, "What the fuck is this, man?"
Yeah,
it's just stupid excuses, man. Like, kids wouldn't make that kind of, mistakes. Like, it's just embarrassing.
Literally, when the Rizzo one happened, I had just pressed on my Xbox. I was like, okay, today Black Ops 6 come out. I'm gonna fire that up, see if it's a piece of trash like the last 4 Call of Duty games or not. And I was like, so I saw it. Yeah, it was the same thing here happened. It was just wild.
Yeah.
So, obviously the Rizzo thing happened, and the Garrett Cole mistake, and then up comes Freddie, and what a World Series! What a World Series for Freddie!
Combination.
And, again, one of the breakdowns I was watching. It was such the guy, and I forget his name. It just popped up on my Twitter, but he went so in depth about every single play, and like you were saying about the Aaron Judge era. Like, when you zoom in, you see at the last second, he glances to ready for the throw to get the double play. It's like he glanced at the last second to see where it was at, and that was all it needed for him to drop the ball. Like, it was pretty fascinating. The other thing was pitching to Freddie. They were pitching outside, and that was the thing. Don't pitch inside to Freddie. And then he went a little inside, and Freddie did it again. Gets a hit, brings 2 runs home. What a World Series. Grand Slam, walk-off Grand Slam, home runs in the first 4 games. That's an all-time series. That goes down in history.
You know,
Freeman,
you see a
Freeman's a
great game
baller.
where I had like $50 on the Yankees that first game. Yet
Yeah.
the grand slam was so epic, I couldn't at all be upset about losing the money. I was like, that was just a fucking great game. I don't care.
Yeah, that was a banger, and it set the tone. Like that was it. Once the Dodgers did that, once Freddie Freeman did that, I think it kind of broke the Yankees a little bit.
I think so.
And then they were getting a rally going. Judge finally hit one in that game 5, and it was like, all right, they're up and about. And that 5th inning, like it kind of summed it up that the Yankees they fell
it would
apart.
have been interesting to see, since Judge maybe he was getting going. If they would have won that game, what would have happened in Game 6? But
I agree.
You got going too late.
I didn't want it to go back to LA because, again, they've got a little bit of confidence up and all that. So, yeah, very happy for that 5th inning. And then even there was more mistakes from the Yankees for the Dodgers to take the lead. Now I'm blanking on what they were, but there were more mistakes from the Yankees. It was just the balls up.
It was all 5 runs in that 5th inning are unearned runs because of the errors. So none of them go on Garrett Cole's ERA record, which is just hilarious. Like that's so many runs to not have any of them be quote unquote earned is just that's something you see like in the 9 to 10-year-old age bracket for Little League.
Yeah, it was literally. It was an inning of Little League from the Yankees. It was
wild.
Quite unbelievable. Great stuff. Very happy and Dodgers fan. I didn't tune into Ben Mallow. How much was he carrying on about
He actually
it,
did the first hour. You know how he's one of those guys, the better stories in the losing locker room. He didn't mention the Yankees once that first hour. He was so happy about the Dodgers.
He spent the second hour.
Yeah, the second to fourth fourth hour, he trashed the Yankees. But that first hour, he actually just gave like breakdown and praise for the Dodgers, while still saying he would have fired Dave Roberts in the last
for the bullpen games games alone. Just fucking
but still, I was shocked. I was like, okay, now we're getting to the Yankees, right? Now we're getting to where the Aaron Judge is trash, right? And it wasn't until hour 2 he really kind of cut into the Yankees.
You know, the Dodgers were pretty flawless, man. I mean, there's really no mistakes were made by them. The only mistakes I saw were by fans. The one that blew his hand off and the other that can't spell fucking Dodgers on a fucking street sign.
I mean, he split his hand literally in 2. That Dodge.
Yeah.
Oh, that was gnarly, man. That's fucking. So
did you
bad.
see that, Mike?
No.
5 times I saw that video, one of them blurted out. I would have been very thankful if the first video I saw was the blurred out one.
The blurred one, no. You need the one from the second angle. You'll see
I've seen every angle now.
His hand looks like a fucking mitt, basically.
All right,
it looks like a crab hand almost,
it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, Mike doesn't know what we're talking about, and therefore I'm going to assume the audience doesn't know either. So a Dodgers fan in the celebrations tried to set off some fireworks and it blew up.
I heard about that. Yeah, I didn't see it, but I heard about it.
It's like a hand grenade in his freaking hand or some shit.
I can't stand that.
I saw
I
was
hate
Dodger fans are going crazy or something. It was a real passive aggressive, like he wanted you to. It was one of those tweets where it lures you in, so you don't know what you're seeing, and then my god! And so there was no way I could move away from.
Yeah, I watched one clip and I was like, oh no, I don't need to see any other angles. I've seen enough.
That was literally the second coming.
Jason Pierre-Paul.
Yeah. Well, he didn't need all those fingers to tackle the shit out of running backs and quarterbacks.
That may have actually been worse than JPP's because JPP kept some of his hand. I don't see a scenario where that guy has good enough health care to keep his hand.
It looked like a carved pumpkin.
Brother Jay, Aussie, would you go on with Blind Mike one Sunday and maybe bring on Josh or Robbie if he'd allow? Of course, love Blind Mike, and he's
we like Mike.
way bigger than us, so of course we would take that opportunity. I can't imagine a scenario where Blind Mike has all 3 of us on, but we're going to have Blind Mike back on this show.
If we set a goal, Aussie, goal, I think Mike could get into that.
Yeah, well, exactly. But no, we're going to do a topic with Mike, but we're going to have to do it on a Saturday because Mike is on at the same time as us. So we'll switch to a Saturday to get Blind Mike back on. Bobo, a Get My Go loyalist. My buddy has a claw hand for messing with
That's
fire.
actually a smart idea. I won't mess with that shit.
Good times. All right. I think that'll do it for tonight's show or this morning's show. Mr. Mike Durband, thank you so much for your time. Sorry it took so long for me to get you on. Yeah.
No problem. Well worth the wait.
Yes.
He's
indeed.
only had Husey on like 5,
I know
6,
Husey's
7
on like,
times.
and because I see the the sending of the link. I'm like, oh, he's having
Shit, I
Husey on
forgot to
again.
send a
He's
link.
having Husey. He's
I'm
having
so
Chad.
sorry.
Yeah, like how many times was that?
Well, I haven't had Chad for a while. And Husey pretty much invites himself on.
Yeah.
Husey says, "Can
He
I come
seems
on
like
and
that
talk
type
about
of
this?"
guy.
Yeah, he says, "Can I come on and talk about this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, right. I got nothing else planned for."
Well,
the
he's
show.
got
And
a
I'm like,
pass now after the Aaron thing.
Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah, he does. He does have a special place because of that.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, you want to? Yeah, obviously, you do all the Get My Go plugs and anything else. You made your bendy, all of that.
Yeah, go to youtube.com/getmygo and watch the Aussie Guy and Husey and the rest of us clown on Wingling for 50 plus episodes. We just dropped an episode yesterday. We don't have episodes as much as we used to, but like it's every 2 months now. That's my fault. It just takes a while to do. I don't like going live. I hate it. Husey wants us to go live, and he can't. I mean, you guys, if you want to go live, I'll give you the password. You can go on and do it anytime you want. I just have no interest in that. I like shining it up as
I love your production that you put into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely want us to do one live episode at some point.
Yeah.
But part of Get My Go is what you do in post production.
Yeah, I mean, like if I reference something, I like to throw. If I have the clip, I like to throw it back and just remind
Yeah.
people and just put graphics on the screen and all that. I can't. I don't like live, being live. Like right now, I don't like it, but I don't like being on shows actually at all. I'd rather be behind the scenes, 100% behind the scenes.
Which is one of the reasons it has taken so long to get you on the show,
Yeah.
because I know that's how you feel.
Yeah,
You're not like that.
yeah. It's not like
on
I'm
camera.
dying to come on a live show.
Yeah.
I like being able to edit my own words and fix everything. But yeah, I love being on. But yeah, go to MikeDurband.com and you can get the if you see behind me the Conan Major Bendy's figure that I commissioned and had made. I have many of them to sell. You can get the standard one, or you can get an autographed one. I have a couple dozen autographed ones left. I also have Matt Cardona and Brian Myers autographed trading cards with my photography on them, and a few other things. And then at Get My Go Show on Twitter, at Mike Durband on Twitter. Join our Get My Go Facebook group. Just look up Get My Go on Facebook. There's only one. There's 10 different Wrestling with Realities and things like that, but there's only one Get My Go. It's not hard to find.
That's one thing we haven't explained, actually. The name of the show, Get My Go, Jonny Podcast kind of named it for us.
Yeah.
Jonny thought the saying "Get My Goat" was "Get My Go," and we found many
Numerous.
instances, of him saying "Get My Go." I mean, that's how Mike was able to put the song together with the chorus of "Get My Go," was clipping him saying "Get My Go." So yeah, that was funny to us, and we're like, that has to be the name of the show.
Yeah.
Now it's got to be "Get My Go." So yeah, funny stuff. Was that all you had to plug, Mike?
I think that's
obviously
it.
you got your Pro Wrestling Tee store. It still has my shirt up there.
Yeah, if you want to get
an
an Aussie Guy t-shirt, go to prowrestlingtees.com/Mike Durband. There's a couple of Husey shirts on there. Dean, if you ever have a new design, we'll throw it up there. The design I had a second
this one.
Yeah, do it. I mean, just whatever you want to put up. We'll
I
put
just
up.
don't know how to make it for a t-shirt, like how to make the graphic or whatever. That's
Where's that guy?
You know what I mean?
Where's the guy? Is he gone?
Yeah, he wasn't. he was gonna be like a full part of the show, and he was doing animations for us and stuff, and then he wasn't necessarily happy with the way we were going, and then he just disappeared.
Isn't that weird how people over the past, like, since I've been kind of involved like with different shows since 2018, it's amazing, like the names of people that we knew, we did shows with, and then they just disappear. It's really weird. Some of them turn against you. It's very
usually
strange.
The ones
man.
you don't think, you wouldn't imagine that it would happen.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, there was one guy I met in real life, and like, we hung out at the first Starcast weekend, all in.
Oh, that's right. Arambe.
Yeah, yeah, and this is a guy I thought was a real life friend, and then then he turns against you over a mistake by somebody else, so very strange. It's a strange world we live in,
And he was one that was participating in as Matt referred to, the gay ops.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he was one of the people that contacted Walmart, where
Yep.
Brother Martin works, which, that shit, like, when you're goofing on these shows, like, yeah, we're just goofing on them, having a laugh. Like, don't fuck with these people. Like, it's...
Like,
it's
I would
so bizarre when
never,
you go that route.
yeah, we've done 50 episodes on certain people, but like, it would never come to the point where I would contact the guy's job.
Yeah.
Or, like John works for an organization where he does great things for veterans. Like, God bless him for that. Like, do you think I would ever interfere with that? No, I don't mess with people's real life things. Like, yeah, we'll goof on you for fucking years over your podcasting shit. But like, as far as real life stuff, like, I don't like doxing. I don't like that shit.
You're not the type to say somebody's got a pet squirrel in their fucking house. And
no.
Yes.
Like, dude, so there's a guy, he sends me constantly. He would be sending me like Billy Body's, like, all this private information about his ex-wife and his kid and, his family and this and that. I'm like, I'm not going to put that out there. Like, that there's a line. There is a line,
Yeah.
Right.
Like, if you say something on a podcast or you talk about it continuously, I think then that gives us free reign to goof on it. And same thing, if anybody wants to take anything that I've said on a show over the last 7 years and you want to make fun of it, I don't give a shit, man. But
definitely, yeah,
there is a line, and I think I don't.
Yeah, like when Billy Buddy does a show with his son, yeah, we're gonna make fun of his son,
Yes,
because you're putting him on a show.
Yeah.
When Aaron Imholt was reading his daughter's letter that she wrote to him, we're going to make fun of his daughter sounding retarded in the letter, like, because you're bringing that to us.
Yeah.
Like,
we didn't go looking for it.
We didn't go looking for it. You put it out on the internet and we're going to make fun of it. But yeah, going into people's real lives and fucking with them, it's just not on. It's pathetic. Like,
unless, like, an exception is if somebody did like some kind of radical confession about something they did once.
Of course.
Things like that have to be talked about.
Yeah. Yes.
Speaking of baseball.
The touching story with his dad. Go check out a rad confession on this channel where we talk about a man's sex offense, him admitting to his sex offense. Amazing stuff. Josh, where can everyone find you?
You can find me at NJHunt02 on X, but I encourage everyone to check out the Get My Go first season. That was great stuff back during COVID. I remember it had me cracking up, and the John Wingling stuff. That's how I found him, and it's a treat.
Yeah.
So I'll check it out.
Season 1 in particular is like, it's a story, and you watch the show develop. In the beginning, you were kind of just recording, editing out stuff you wanted to edit out. But as it goes on and you get to sort of episode 20 and then episode 30, all the things that Mike starts adding to it, and that it's
right.
Yeah, it's a real evolution. I highly recommend, if you're going to check out Get My Go to episode 1 and follow the whole story, because it is pretty bonkers, all the shit that goes on. The fact that we got a rad confession out of that was absolutely incredible.
And it's I love how it's like we started off, it was just me and Joe and Husey, and then you came aboard. It's like we had somebody from his camp come on, and then of course then you became a regular member, and then we had a guy that actually met him in real life. The Chadster actually met Wingling in real life, and then he comes on and joins us. And we've had various guest stars. We've had I think the Jeff Lane episodes were awesome. We've had Russo on. We've had Francine, which hopefully she'll be back on very soon. Yeah, it's been fun.
The Chad meeting John episode, the Hi Dan, I'm John episode 19. Is one of the great episodes, and because watching his podcast and how underprepared and all of that he is for it, like meeting him in real life played out exactly as you'd expect from watching his podcast. It's amazing how underprepared that he was for the situation. Yeah, check out Get My Go. Robbie,
you can find us at USA of AUS Pod And then you can find me at Mariner Robbie on Twitter as well. Or X. There we go.
Or at the Golden Corral.
Yeah.
Yes.
Skyline Chili?
Yeah.
Matt, what was Chad's first appearance? Was that the one?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then did we have him on like every episode from then on?
Well, he started coming back a bit more regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I liked when it got down to when it was like me, Joe Husey, and then Chad and the Aussie guy. That was, to me, that was a perfect lineup. You know, it's like the starting five. I love that era. You know.
Yeah.
We had people on the first few episodes like just one time, and I don't remember their names. Like people that Joe would bring on.
Well, here's one of them. Jeff White.
No, I remember, of course, Jeff Yapunsic. There was a couple other guys, but
Robbie sucks at video games. I said it.
He's not wrong. I suck at first-person shooters. We play together, so
yeah, mate. That's what I was going to say before. Yeah, and then he was on the next. You guys did a double recording. He told the story, and then you did a Brother Martin doing a podcast.
Brother Martin has been absent from podcasting.
Yeah, he's
and it's a shame because he, like, it's not talked about. We haven't really mentioned it, but John and Brother Martin had a split. It must have been 3 or 4 or 5 months ago by now, but Brother Martin was promising to do like a tell-all of what happened. And dude, I heard it. Like if I could have broadcast what he told me on the phone over like a 45-minute conversation, this would have been the best show ever. It would have been the most interesting podcast episode ever. If Brother Martin would have said to what he said to me, if he would have put that out,
yeah,
it would have been a total babyface turn for him too.
I've been tossing up as to whether to throw out the invite to him for one of our Jonny podcast segments.
I see. I don't think, because then they kind of made up after.
Okay.
Yeah, like he was all set. That's why he hasn't done anything. Is because they kind of.
Yeah.
You know,
John got back in manipulation mode.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what happened. Like he knew, he found out that Brother Martin was gonna expose him, and then he worked his snake oil charming back. You know, he got him not to do it. So it's too bad. But I know it all. I know everything he told me, and it was fascinating.
Yeah, he told me a bunch in DMs one day, but yeah. I won't go into it. All right, thanks everyone for joining us. It's been fun. Thank you, Mike.
Yes,
thank you, Josh. Thank you, Robbie. For me, I mean, we've plugged everything else. We've obviously plugged Get My Go. We didn't do a show today, but what's your Randall on Echo Pineapple's YouTube channel? It's Echo Pineapple, where it put a 3 where the last E should be. Where we go back through the Ricky Gervais show on XFM and then into the podcast days. We're big fans of that show, and we love talking about it. So check that out. That's going to move to, I think, 8:45. Oh, I forget. We'll figure it out. I can't remember what time it's going to start, but we'll let you know. All right. Other than that, I'm on X at that Sussy Guy. Hang on a second. Hold the phone. Jeff Yapunsic, thank you very much. Just donated. I assume that's $5 American because it came in as $7.28 Australian. So thank you very much, Jeff. Appreciate it. What's this? Considering you sent me money, I'll put your chat on the screen. Can do a chat GPT of United States of Australia. Does it work for YouTube videos? Yeah, I think Matt Wilson's been doing that for the Get My Goes. He did. What? Oh, was I not supposed to say that? Anyway, if anyone is someone out, I think somebody out there did.
Somebody did it, yeah.
Yeah, and they did a rad confession.
Which is so good.
Yeah, it's really.
It's
the
scary.
ChatGPT sums it up really well.
It's very scary how accurate that stuff is.
Yeah. All right, I was wrapping up. On X, I'm at that Sussy Guy. Just imagine that Aussie Guy and put an S where the A should be. We'll catch you next time on United States of Australia.
Rest in peace, Fred, the raccoon.